Hello and welcome to Tennessee Valley this morning on WTMB, middle of the week Wednesday. Joe and Kim Palo with you. We were with you yesterday, now we're here again today, but we will not be here tomorrow.
No, we won't.
Nancy Kaysen and Bernae Beatty will be
That's
here
right
as
and
usual.
You got the movie idiots on
Well,
Friday.
don't call them idiots. Kim.
Oh, come on, Joe. I can.
No.
They're so much younger than I am. I can do that. I mean, if I can call you an idiot, I can call
Yeah,
you
but
an
just because
idiot.
people are younger doesn't make them idiots.
No. No, there's a whole nother list.
A whole nother reason.
For those two.
No. But they're good guys, Rob Alderman,
they
Ryan
are.
Faricelli. And then, of course, on Mondays, we have Alan Mincy, we have Doc Carbaugh, we got Tracy and Tommy Wright.
That's right.
And then coming up this next Tuesday, we have James and Stacy Dunn.
Yes, they will be new.
Hosting. So
that's right. And
James from Simon J.
James
Productions.
is the brains behind the action when we're here, and he's got a great production company and
does a lot of stuff.
does a lot of
Hopefully
different
he'll tell
stuff.
everybody
They can
about
tell
it.
everybody about it, but they're going to be here next Tuesday.
Okay. We've got some announcements. I didn't mean to shut you off there.
Hey, I'm used to it, Joe. I mean, I'm used to it. And I usually do it to you, so, hey, give and take. That's what this relationship is about.
Thank you, as you're next to me. All right, so a couple of things we want to talk to you about real quick. United Way of Bradley County, Don Ledford Automotive Center, Mix 104.1 WCLE, and the Cleveland City School System, also Bradley County School Systems, ask you to stuff the bus. Donate school supplies for students in need so they can start this school year well prepared. The lists are posted of what is needed, area stores that sell school supplies, or you can find a list of needed supplies at www.unitedwaybc.com. Click on the news and events section. Find out all you need to find out there. You can drop off supplies and help stuff the bus on Saturday, August the 4th, which is this coming Saturday, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Don Ledford Automotive Center, 4595 North Lee Highway. And then we'll go ahead and promo this. This is for our buddies Steve and Eddie and all the great folks out there. Listen to Mix 104.1 CLE for a live remote from 10 until 2 on August 4th. They'll be live out there.
Great.
And so you can go by, drop off your supplies, help a kid out, and it helps out, obviously, our community, the United Way. Don Ledford, Mix 104.1 in Cleveland City, Bradley County Schools ask you to do so.
They do.
Also, we want to tell you this. Bradley County School Systems. Teachers will report, what's today? Today's the 1st. Today, they report today, which is Wednesday, the 1st. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm not. I'm just admiring you, Joe, as I always do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then students will report August 7th. So teachers today, students August 7th. That's to start this new school year. And you can get a calendar at Bradley County.
Now that's for the county schools, right?
That's what I said, Bradley County
right.
Schools.
I wasn't listening. I was just looking.
See, she always looks and doesn't ever listen.
Right,
So she has no idea what I'm
That's
saying.
right. But I'm always looking.
But now the Cleveland City Schools, I believe, begin as well on the 7th.
I don't know, but you do have the paper in your
I
hand.
have the paper, but it's got the school times.
Oh.
See? That's a little different one.
Oh, it could be a little different.
Cleveland-
Tony McDaniel's going to be here a little bit later, so he could clarify that because, I mean, even though he's county, he really
probably
is, but he's
knows,
over the
yeah.
city
Yeah.
too as well. I mean,
Well-
I don't know that he's over them. They're
Well,
just
Martin Ringstaff is the
well, I
city.
know, but their money for the wheel tax is what I'm talking about. The
We're
money
not talking
that is
about the
going to be
wheel
for,
tax, though.
Shut up.
We're talking
I'm
about
just
when
saying
school
that
starts.
the money that it goes when it's
I mean,
it goes
how
to
do we
Bradley
go
County,
from
it
when
goes
schools
to
start into the
Cleveland
wheel
City School.
tax? We know where your head's at.
I
right.
know what we're going to
There's
discuss.
a
I'm
new-
just saying the money goes to
there's-
both. Shut up.
Interesting. There's a new time that the Cleveland High School and Cleveland Middle School will report. The doors will open this year. It's brand new time. 7:20. They open. Doors
Holy
open.
cow.
Doors open.
You know,
But the school does not start till 7:50. 10 till 8.
oh.
See, it just give you a few minutes to get in there.
But still, I mean, that
7:50.
means that those kids that are riding those buses that will get there at
6 o'clock.
7:20, that they have to be at that bus stop, especially if they're way out in the
6,
county.
5:30, 6 o'clock.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, I guess.
That's right. I mean, get yourself your education.
That's right.
7:50 to 2:50 will be the day of school, Cleveland High School, Cleveland Middle School. Now, elementary schools, a little different. This is again city. This is Arnold, Bauer, Mayfield, Ross, and Yates Primary. Doors will open at 7:40. Is that better for you?
Well, yeah.
7:40?
Unless I was getting there at 7:20 and I had to stand outside in the snow and the rain and when it gets cold.
Somehow, Kim, I think your days of elementary school are long over.
They
You don't have to worry about
this.
this.
I think they're.
Just the
I
kids
think you are correct, Joe. I'm just thinking.
Now, school will start at the elementary schools. Again, doors open at 7:40. School starts at 8:30.
Right.
8:30 till 3:30. So that's the new school time, start time. So just so you know. And the Teen Learning Center, kind of like the elementary, they will open at 7:40. Doors open. School starts at 7:50 until 2:50. So it's kind of like the high school combined along with the elementary school. Doors open a little later, but school starts. Okay. Interesting. Now, there are a list of school supplies. If you don't know what you need, there's a list. If you go to the Cleveland City School website,
it is cityschools.org or Bradley Schools. No, clevelandschools.org.
Cleveland City Schools.
I don't think so. I think it's just Cleveland Schools and then BradleySchools.com. .org.
Cleveland City Schools. That's what it says on the page.
.org?
No. Just says Cleveland City Schools,
right.
but I'm sure it's .org.
Yeah, they're right.
All right.
But anyway, if you Google it, it'll come up, and then you just hit the website, and then you're there. I mean, who even knows addresses anymore? You just Google what
it's
you're
like we
trying
talked
to think
about yesterday. This internet and Google thing's going to catch on.
It's going to be big, folks.
That thing's catching on.
A lot of people are going to use that.
A lot of people
in
are
the future.
getting those, what are they, newfangled things, computer things.
Right.
Typing on a little typewriter thing and talking with everybody all over the world.
You can talk to anybody.
Telling you what, I
world.
tell you, technology.
So anywho.
But there's a list of the different schools, and different schools have different school supply lists. So you can call each your individual school and find out exactly what your list needs to be. And again, that's at Cleveland Schools or ClevelandCitySchools.org.
Whatever, that's
You'll
right.
find it.
Just Google it.
But in any case, we got that, and I think you got something.
No, all I have is that the Brouhaha is going to be at the Museum Center this past weekend. Joe and I were out there for the Arts Festival at the museum, and that was wonderful. A lot of great local artists. I mean, so much talent that we have in this area. It's unbelievable. But we are having the first, what they're hoping to be of many that will start off. This will be the first annual, but it will be here for many years. But it is going to be.
There's no such thing.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
There can't be an annual.
Right, but they're hoping it will be an annual on the 2nd, is what I'm trying to say that I didn't
Second annual.
Right.
First ever.
So, thank you. I appreciate your input. Interesting that he says to me all the time. This is the Brouhaha. It is going to be, it's Tarver Distributing and Temple Craft Brew from here in Cleveland in the Charleston area are going to have a Brouhaha, which is a beer festival out at the museum, and it's going to be Saturday from 4 until 8 p.m. And so that's something new that they are having out there, and there's going to be a lot of tasting. They do have special prizes for, or not prizes, but cost to get in for the designated drivers, so that there won't be anything. But it's right. But it
even
is
if you're
going to be
taking
tasty.
a sip of one, you never.
So right, you never know. But we've got a great show today, Joe.
We do have a great show, a wonderful show. Do you want to tell who our guests are?
We have Mr. Dale Hughes is in the house. He is running for city council. Am I correct on that? And he is also the main man up at the Mountain View Inn. And I know everybody's been up there at one time or another and has enjoyed a great lunch, the best Sunday afternoon lunch in town. But he's here to talk to us a little bit about the Mountain View Inn, and also he needs your vote on this coming Thursday, and so you know that you want to listen to what Mr. Hughes has to say. And also our buddy is worried about the wheel tax that I brought up earlier. A little spoiler. Mr. Johnny McDaniel, he's the director of schools for the county, and he's going to be here to chat a little bit about the controversy that's been going on about the wheel tax and kind of give us, sometimes you don't hear the whole story, and so he's going to tell us the whole story. And then, of course, Mr. Ron Moore. If he doesn't know it, he'll make it up.
Exactly.
And we love to hear him on every Wednesday morning. So it's a great show. And Joe, I think we were probably going to do the little video, but let's don't do that since Mr. Hughes is in the house, and we will do it next week. How about that?
We will do. That sounds wonderful. There,
okay, I just want to make sure that you're going to agree with it. We're not going to fight right here.
Oh, we're not. We will fight.
Right. I mean, we're going to go to commercial break, and we'll fight during the commercial break. But let's.
That's what I was saying.
So we'll just go to commercial.
Take commercial? We'll do that? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. We're going to be back with more Tennessee Valley this morning after this commercial break. Stay tuned.
Come on.
United Way is not just our name, it's who we are. Live United are not just words on a shirt, it's how we work together. These are philosophies by which we serve, collectively, collaboratively, and in partnership with our community. That is United Way. That is Live United. Our mission is to be a community-based organization that leads in the efforts in identifying community needs, facilitating collaboration, and maximizing resources to positively impact our community and surrounding area.
Our key strategy is based on our slogan, Live United. We look to have collective impact by pooling resources, avoiding duplication, developing efficient systems and infrastructure, and addressing priority needs.
Through a process of community assessments, we have determined these priority needs as health, education, financial stability, and support services.
We have partners in place that meet these needs, from those that deal with youth to the elderly and those that help provide services when emergencies occur, whether through disasters or health-related issues.
Other partners help with preparing youth to be ready for school and life, families to be able to survive difficult economic times, and our older population to remain in their homes as long as possible.
How can you help? You can volunteer to help us and our partners provide these services. You can be an advocate for United Way and help attract others to our cause. And most importantly, you can give a donation to help us fund these needed services. We can only provide these services with your help. We hope you will embrace our Live United theme and join others in our community and give to help those who depend on us. Give, and anything is possible.
Give, and anything is possible. Give, and everything begins. Good gets going, joy starts flowing, and everybody wins. When we give, anything is possible. Give, and miracles arise. Folks start hoping, hearts come open, love comes to their eyes. Wishes happen, dreams do too. All over town, they're coming true. All kinds of people, just like me and you, are given the gift, the gift and the gift. Gift of love, the gift of love, yeah. Give, and anything is possible. You give, and everything begins. The good gets going, and joy starts flowing, and everybody wins. Oh, wishes happen, dreams do too. All over town, they're coming true. All kinds of people, just like me and you, we're given the gift of love. Everybody sing love, sing love, sing love. Everybody sing love, sing love. Oh, the gift of love, sing love, sing love. Everybody sing love, sing love, sing love. Everybody sing love, sing love. Oh, the gift of love, sing love, sing love. Everybody sing love. Oh,
All right, welcome back. And what we showed you there
That's right.
was the video we were just talking about. We were going to wait and show that a little
Right,
bit later, but we
but-
showed it now, so we make sure that you got to see it. So
We
Live
don't ever know
United.
what we're doing.
Live United and support
But
the United
yes,
Way.
absolutely support the United Way.
As you can see, we are joined by Mr. Dale Hughes, Commissioner Dale Hughes, the councilman, I should say. But they used to, didn't it used to be called the Cleveland City Commission too, and they changed it to council?
It did. At one time, there were 5 commissioners
Okay.
a number of years ago, and then they changed it when they moved it to 7. It became councilman instead of commissioners.
Good. Okay.
Right.
All right. So
Right, but
council.
I
You
got
were
it right.
stand
partially right. That's
I
right.
stand corrected.
He's never all the way right. I mean,
That's true.
If I have anything to say,
If I am, I don't
if
ever
I'm
know
going
it,
to-
so.
That's right.
But yes, we are joined by Mr. Hughes, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about Mountain View Inn, Carrie's Restaurant, the Holiday Inn Express, and of course, the city of Cleveland, and what's going to be happening, the exciting things happening in the future.
Tomorrow, you better get
tomorrow's
out
the
there
big
and
day.
vote
That's
for
exactly
Dale
right.
Hughes.
That's exactly right. Thank you for
you.
being
Yeah,
with us.
Thank you, Kim. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
being with us.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Joe. Glad to be with you.
Let's start off by talking about the Mountain View Inn, because that's the standby. We'll move on to the new one here in a minute, but let's talk about the Mountain View Inn. Been around a long time.
Standard, that's right.
Boy, it has. It's been around here for a long time. I like to think it's a historic Mountain View Inn, and I really would like to have maybe a nickel for all the decisions that have been made through
Absolutely.
the years
gosh, no
in that
kidding.
restaurant.
No kidding.
A lot of folks come up and join us for lunch, and we're so happy to have them. We're very happy to have the civic clubs.
Yes.
The Rotary meets there, the Kiwanis, the Civitan, the Lions, and the Sertoma. So we do have 5, I believe that's all 5, with the exception of the morning Rotary meets
Right.
at the hospital.
Right.
Right.
But those are the leaders in our community and those clubs, and we're delighted to have them on a weekly basis out the Mountain View Inn.
Yeah.
It's
And-
cranking every lunch
Yes,
day up
it
there. I
is.
mean,
It
every
is.
lunchtime you go up there and the parking lot's full because it is. It's the civic groups and the people, the movers and shakers in Cleveland are having lunch with
Absolutely.
you. And it's a good lunch.
And
Well, thank
you know, of course, the food is excellent. So I think that has a part to play with it too. The food is unbelievable there, and it always has been. There's a standard I know that you all have in that restaurant, and you've kept that standard up for many, many, many years.
Well, thank you, Joe. We like to think so, and I attribute a lot of that to Sharon Pritchard. I very seldom ever call Sharon because her nickname is Bird.
Oh, okay.
And my wife will not call her Bird. She calls her Sharon. But everybody else calls her Bird. And she is an excellent buffet cook. She just does a good job on an everyday basis. And one thing that we do on the Hill is quite a few banquets. We have folks that are coming in for wedding rehearsals.
Right.
We do a lot of parties, birthday parties, anniversary parties. In fact, just recently, and I'd like to call their name, J.C. and Dorothy Cagle. Goes, you know them.
Yeah, we know the
They
Kagels.
live in Bacchus.
I
and I've
love
known
them.
forever.
I-
Yes.
they've
Their daughter
Wonderful
Pam.
people.
66 years of marriage. So
Yeah.
You beat it, Joe.
Sunday a week ago, when they came up, I had a sign made. Congratulations to JC and Dorothy for 66 years of marriage. And then we stopped during the meal in the main dining room, and very seldom ever do this, but I introduced them, had them stand, and they are such a viable and lively couple for their age.
Yes,
They're a
they
wonderful couple.
They are.
And I enjoyed that so much, recognizing them for 66 years of marriage. How many people nowadays make it to 20 years?
Right.
You know,
Yeah, that's
times
true.
have changed. And God has blessed them with 66 years together. What a tribute to marriage.
Yeah.
Tremendous. It
They're
really
very
is.
good people, like you
Yeah,
said.
Oh, they
live
are
right
lovely
behind
people.
us, and she's always saying, "Stop by anytime. You know, you just come in, and you know, you don't have to call first, Lord. If you're coming to my house, you need to call 2 weeks in advance.
Absolutely.
You can get
And-
to the front door."
She's such a sweet lady. She
She
called
is.
the other day and said, Mr. Hughes, I'm calling my neighbors for you for this election. And I said, well, bless your heart. I guess maybe that's the reason I love her so much.
That's right. She's
she
calling
goes
for it.
beyond, you know.
That's right.
She's just great.
Well, of course, you mentioned Carrie's Restaurant, which is, as we talk about, part of the Mountain View Inn, not to mention the view at the Mountain View Inn.
Yeah.
I told Richie, one day our tower site is back behind there, Executive Park, and I had to wait a few minutes, so I just thought I'd take a little, which I've never really thought to do that before, take a little drive there, right around the corner, right there where the grill is. I couldn't believe the view. There's a grill. There's a
Joe was asking permission to just go up.
yeah.
there.
Well, that's kind of for our guests.
No, that's for guests.
I thought
Joe.
this was a wonderful. I could not believe the view.
Yeah.
Of course, it's been like that forever, but I've never really spent the time to just absolutely go there and just look out. But wonderful view, and to keep in line with what the Mountain View Inn has been for all these years, you now have the Holiday Inn Express, which is off of Paul Huff.
It is
That
gorgeous.
is.
That is
out
so
of this
beautiful. Your wife,
world.
Richie, said that Stephanie and Brenda did that together, which is an
They
amazing
did.
thing. Mother-in-law and daughter-in-law
Absolutely.
working together. But that is one of the
Yeah.
most beautiful
It
interiors
is.
I have
Well,
seen.
thank you so much. They went a little beyond the standards for
Yes.
Holiday Inn Express. And one thing that I would share with you, my builder kept telling me that I ought to put a 12-foot ceiling in the lobby. I said, well, I really don't want a 12-foot ceiling. I'd like to have a 23-foot ceiling. He said, you're going to lose 2 rooms. 2 actual rooms you won't have because of the second-story ceiling. Well, it turned out so nice, and Brenda did, and Stephanie, such a fine job with the lobby, that after it was over, he came to me and said, I'm so glad that I insisted on you having you want to take all the credit for it, yeah. But Brenda and Stephanie worked extremely hard, came up to the Mountain View Inn on an everyday basis and worked for months. They ordered everything, they color coordinated everything. My hat's off to both of them for just a marvelous job. And most of the folks that come really seem to enjoy the decor of the Holiday Inn Express.
Just the quality. I have an aunt and uncle that are staying there right now, and just the quality of everything, the breakfast that's there, the buffet, the different items that you have on that. You don't see that everywhere. It's almost like, you expect this certain, budget places to be a certain way, but then you go to really nicer hotels, and the Holiday Inn Express is really a very nice hotel that you wouldn't expect out of an Express at all. I mean, it's beautiful. The meeting room is gorgeous, state of the art. I mean, for those
Thank
of
you.
you corporations that want to have meetings, when the Rotary's got the Mountain View Inn filled up, that they have a beautiful meeting room. I mean, it's just, and almost
Right.
all the rooms are suites there as well,
Yeah.
I think.
Yes, 33 suites
Right.
there, yeah.
Or a third.
All the rooms have 37-inch TVs. The suites have 2 TVs, and we're proud of it, and it's doing very well. Let me say this to you: we have some corporations here. Of course, Bakker's using the Holiday Inn Express. Life Care has packed us out several times since we've been open. Only been open since April 15th.
Right.
But they have the first night that we were opened, we were full.
Wow.
Now, I would not suggest that for anybody who is
Just
opening a
open
new
your first
hotel.
open your night,
There's
right?
so many little things. The lamp's not plugged in, the TV's not plugged in. So many little things that you have to do. But Life Care was there for the very first night that we opened, for 4 nights straight.
Right.
And they had all of our rooms. So, but it's been good, even though we don't have any billboards yet. We have the billboards, but we don't have the vinyls. Holiday Inn sends us the vinyls.
Right.
And we ordered them as soon as we got close to finishing. We haven't received them yet. So we don't have any advertisement north or south. But still the hotel is doing very well.
Yeah, it's just, and we talk about how beautiful it looks. You could put a lot of beautiful things in there. It doesn't make it beautiful, but the taste that Stephanie and Brenda, their taste is what kind of comes out in there, and that's where it makes it. It really is. I mean, and like Kim said, her aunt and uncle are just like,
They're
it's
just
like
tickled to death.
like
They
they
really
died and
are.
went to heaven. Yeah,
I know. They
great.
said that's the most comfortable bed they've ever
Yeah.
been in. That they were just, can't hardly get them to come out of the room. And not that that's a bad thing, because Joe,
Yeah, that's, no, Kim, don't say anything like that. They can come out of their room.
It's my family. I love to do that.
Yeah, it is your family.
Yeah, and then I send a copy to my mother, and I just smile. It's all good.
Yeah. So Holiday Inn Express is open for business, a great addition to our community, and as Kim said, any corporate businesses out there, just folks coming into town, if you have people that are going to be visiting for the summer, put them up there.
Your family reunion.
You will
Put 'em over
be,
there.
They'll
don't want 'em
love
in
you
your
forever.
house.
Yeah, they'll love you forever. Now let's switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about the city council, the city of Cleveland. You're running for office. Of course, the election day is tomorrow. Talk to the folks out there. Yeah.
You have a platform.
I appreciate that. You know, I saw an interview that you did with my son Richie about United Way, and I appreciated that interview so much because Kim would stop every so often and say, "Vote for Dale Hughes." I really appreciated that. Yeah, I really appreciated that. But I am running. I'm fulfilling a term from Coach Bill Robertson, who expired while in office. And I've been on the city council for 14 months and had a decision to make. Do you want to do this for 4 years or let somebody else have that? I've enjoyed most of what we do on the city council to the point that I said, yes, I plan to run. It has been a longer period than I ever dreamed of. It's been like 5 months that we've been running. And here tomorrow is going to be the election, and I'm so happy that there is a termination time.
Right.
Because it's actually a lot longer than I anticipated. But I've enjoyed, I'll tell you what I have learned. I have learned that although being principal, Johnny, of Bradley High School for 22 years and working in the community on an everyday basis, I've really learned about the 5th District.
Okay.
When we redistrict, we brought in Frontage Road, and that's Benjamin Cress and Wynwood, two new areas in my district, in the 5th District. Plus Mouse Creek, all the way out Mouse Creek from
that goes a long way, doesn't it?
It goes all the way out to the county line, and you have all these little arteries. Harvest Glen, Shenandoah, Cedarwood, Hunter's Run, Hunter's Row, all these, out there. And I've learned those and actually have met a lot of people out in those areas. A lot of people out there, and honestly, that's a big part of my district. But I've enjoyed that aspect of it. I've enjoyed meeting people. People have been very kind to me, and I'm grateful for that. And we'll see how we come out on Wednesday. I don't mind telling you, I've worked pretty hard.
Yes, you have.
Pretty diligent. Go out most every evening, and then throughout the day, I have the latitude of movement, having my own business.
Right.
So I work pretty hard, and we'll see how we come out. I have 2 opponents, and I'm sure they're working hard also.
Right.
But it's been a kind of a laborious thing because of the length of it.
Right.
Sure.
But we'll see on Thursday how everything comes out, and I'm looking forward to the termination of it.
Well, we're in his district.
We
and
are.
And you have done a wonderful job in the time that you have been
Absolutely.
there.
And we're not just saying that, suck it up to you because you're on the show. Yeah.
Well, thank
We're
you.
telling you the truth, honestly. You've done more in the time frame you've been there than we've seen happen for a little while.
Yes.
Well,
And,
thank you.
and not that coach, not that chief didn't do a good job.
Right.
I know a lot of times it takes some new blood to get some things moving and generating, and you've done that. But as we need to say, this isn't your first rodeo. You were a county commissioner for a while too, were you not?
Well, I was on the school board.
School board, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was on the school board for 6 years and
right.
chairman of the school board for 3 years, and I enjoyed that. That was a great time. I was at Lee
Service.
University at that time as athletic director and served on the school board, and I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah.
But anyhow, through the years, I just felt like numerous times, YMCA board, utility board, this is what I enjoy.
Yeah.
I enjoy giving my time to some of these areas that are really significant for our community.
Yeah.
Right, and he does. I mean, you are a true servant in our community, and has been for a
thank you.
very long time. And so we're just, we're not even beating around the bush. We're asking for your vote for him tomorrow, and good luck
Thank you,
tomorrow
Kim.
so
Thank
much. We
you.
appreciate you being with us and being a part of knowing our family and always being there for us. And you're got a great work ethic. You know he'll work hard.
And an
Work hard.
educator.
And
He's an educator too.
That's
so
right.
Absolutely.
done it all.
That's
Absolutely.
right. He's just, lots of hats.
That's
Very
right.
pro-education, that's for sure.
That's well, thank you for being
Yes,
with us.
thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Hughes. We appreciate it.
Thank you,
We'll have
Joe
you back
and Kim.
again.
We sure
Thank
will
you.
for the
After
celebration.
tomorrow's right.
Glad to
That's right,
come.
for the-
Yeah, there you go.
After you take a nap, because you're going to take the weekend off, aren't you?
Right, I am going to
Yeah,
take the
there you
weekend
are,
off.
I'm sure.
All right, folks. We're going to be back. We've got Johnny McDaniel, Director of Bradley County Schools. Also, Ron Moore is in the house when we come back with Tennessee Valley this morning. After this, stay tuned.
All right.
Hello, I'm Robert Thompson. I'm a partner here at the law firm of Logan Thompson, and I've been practicing law for about 25 years. I focus primarily on complex litigation cases involving serious personal injury. To establish liability, it's important that we thoroughly investigate your case. And we're fortunate here at Logan Thompson to have a full-time investigator on staff. And once we establish liability, next we turn to the issue of damages. Under Tennessee law, you're entitled to be compensated for 5 elements of damages. The first is property damage, and then your medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, and loss of enjoyment of life. If you or a family member have been injured in an automobile accident, would like to sit down and discuss with us what you're entitled to, please give us a call at your convenience. There's no charge for the initial consultation. I'm Robert Thompson with the law firm Logan Thompson, and we'd be honored to help you.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100. Welcome back, Tennessee Valley this morning. Joe and Kim Palo, now joined by Johnny McDaniel, Bradley County School System, our director of Bradley County Schools. Thank you for being with us.
Glad to be here, Joe. Good morning.
Good morning. We've got some issues to talk about. Let me get right to
We've
the
got
point.
issues.
First of all, we've got the big vote tomorrow,
Yes.
the wheel tax vote. And we talked about this over the weekend. We've talked about this till we're all blue in the face. Something that's needed.
And Johnny knows the whole story.
He knows the scoop.
You know the whole story, and sometimes you just get a little bit here and a little bit there, and
Sure.
it's not accurate sometimes. And so before people go to the polls tomorrow, what do you have to say about that
Right.
there wheel tax?
Well, the wheel tax is on the ballot because the county commission decided that would be a way to address some of the needs that the school board had brought before the county commission. We've talked to the commission over the last several years about our long-term plans, the growth here in Bradley County. We're grateful that we were able to build Parkview Elementary School, do a renovation out at Valley View. We've added the Bradley Fine Arts Building, which actually increased classroom capacity at Bradley. It has a new band room and a new chorus room. So we've actually added to the instructional capacity at Bradley High School when we put on the Fine Arts Edition. Beautiful addition, had been promised to Bradley Central for 20 years.
Well, that's a long time to be
The
promised.
cost has been misquoted.
Okay.
It was a little over $3 million when we first
That's
started
2
out
million
looking at the
less.
design. Yes, it's a little less than what I've heard quoted and misquoted
Yes.
actually by some folks who were talking about that. But we really believe it's a great addition to the high school. It allows the continuation of productions from Lake Forest. They have a really great fine arts program there with their vocal motion choir, and
Right.
they transfer into Bradley, and with the drama productions that we have there, the band. It was a much needed addition. It had been promised to Bradley for a long time, so I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
The board had saved money, and then we received some federal monies that came to the district. Instead of just spending it like some systems did around the state, we invested it back into the infrastructure of our schools. So we're proud of that. I think it was a very good decision. The wheel tax is on the referendum because the commission, they realized that we do need additional monies for schools.
Right.
We do have some infrastructure needs for our schools. There are some issues that have been going on here long before Johnny McDaniel or before this current commission. And there are ongoing needs that have to be addressed. Lake Forest Middle School being number one on the list. We have to do something about Lake Forest. Poor design from the beginning. This board didn't choose that, and
Right.
a lot of the people who made those decisions, they're no longer with us. They've passed on.
Right.
But we still live on with their decisions, and it's time now to make a new decision. And the school board and the commission agree that we just don't need to patch the roof there.
No.
It's time to build a new building at Lake Forest Middle School. So the wheel tax, if passed, would help to fund a new academic building at Lake Forest Middle School. Would replace 13 outbuildings. To think about that, we would have one large academic building replacing 13 outbuildings. And those folks out there who have been to
Right.
Lake Forest understands the administrative challenge that those pods create.
I like the term trailers.
They're not anymore. Back in your day, they were.
Yeah,
They're
but I
pods
mean,
now.
they're little like prefab buildings where a kid needs to be in the school building, not in a little outbuilding outside on the
And
side.
it's just hard to communicate and to get to where they need to be.
Yes, and that's why this is definitely needed. But go
And
on,
it's
I'm
just
being interrupted.
$32.
Well, it's the wheel tax is $32 per automobile, $16 per motorcycle. It's not. I've heard that it's $32 on every wheel. That isn't true. It's $32 period.
Right.
Many of us have specialty tags on our cars. I have
Right.
one that says helping schools. I pay $35 for that. I'm going to keep that because that is a donation to the school of my choice. But the $32 is another way, another revenue stream for schools specifically. It's in the referendum. That's why it's going to the people. They can decide if they want to allow this wheel tax to come to Bradley County, and it's been designated to do Lake Forest Middle School, an addition at Walker Valley. Walker Valley was built really for 1,200 students with a core of 1,400, and they're running at 1,500. And we do a good job. There are some trailers there. We hate to call them that. We call them portables, Joe.
Portable.
But,
Well, I mean, let's get rid of them. Let's get the building built better, and then we get rid of them.
Well, I'd love to do that.
Right.
And then Blue Springs. Blue Springs was damaged in the storm. The school board, I believe, made a good decision in not
Yeah,
utilizing
they
the money to rebuild the school. We received insurance money that would have put the roof back on the building, but the insurance really is, people say it's replacement cost. What that means is they'll put it back the way that it was.
Right.
And we operate that building with 2 portables. So you have students that really, you had 230 students and 2 classes were out in portable. So you have less than 200 students in the building proper. It's a very small building. It was very old. The damage was just insurmountable,
Right.
in my opinion.
Too much to repair.
And it would have been a
Sometimes it's
Band-Aid.
better to
It could have
just
been
renovate.
repaired, Kim,
Right.
and that's a judgment call. The
Right.
board, I believe, made a good decision in saying it's time we wanted to provide a new school for that area. They had talked about a new school on the south side of Bradley County, so when the destruction came to that campus, I believe it was a good time to move on, utilize what resources came to the county, toward the new school. And that's what the school board has
Right.
done. They've purchased land down on Blue Springs Road, 20 acres, beautiful property, a great place for a school. And if the wheel tax passes, we will then be able to move forward with these projects. And the people need to know that this wasn't a school board decision. It was a county commission
right,
decision.
exactly.
They're trying to help schools. They're trying to find a way to help
As we
raise
all
revenue
should.
for schools. And you can understand why school people would support this.
Oh, yeah.
People who
yeah.
work in those buildings every day know the need, see the
Right.
need every day. And we've had that up on our signs. We've talked to our attorney, the county attorney, the election commission, and they say it's okay to put up on the sign that we're supporting that because that is a way to help support schools.
Right.
I understand that people have to make up their own mind about if they want to vote for it or against it. But a lot of people that I know really believe in public education. They believe that our children deserve a great education, a great building to be in when they
They're
get
our
that
future.
education. And so folks who believe that, they're voting for this wheel tax.
Now, I do want to ask you this,
And
Johnny.
most of these people, we're voting for it.
I just want to ask you this too, because there's been people different thoughts about it. It's $32. It's not $32 added on to what you were paying.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Right now, I believe that your renewal is around $24.
Right.
And now,
So, which is probably one of the lowest tag registrations anywhere to be found.
It's hundreds of bucks in Florida, yeah.
You know, my folks, they still live down in South
Right.
Florida.
My mom.
And when we moved from Florida to Tennessee, I was really surprised at how cheap tags were. And I would say Florida is a low tax state also.
right, but theirs are still about $100.
Well, they
110,
doubled.
right.
When the economic recession hit in Florida, they doubled the price of tags at the state level.
Okay.
And in part to provide more revenue for schools and for other services
right.
that the state government provided. In Tennessee, it's a little different. To add that on, the state government allows the local governments to decide if they want to add on
Okay.
the wheel tax. So
Okay.
that's why we're here in Tennessee. We're even giving our folks an opportunity, the commission is, a right to vote on this.
Right.
That would be part of the process. The commission could vote it in with a supermajority twice. They could vote in a wheel tax. But then if there are a certain percentage of the last electorate who wanted to have a vote for referendum, it would go to referendum.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
This commission decided just to put it straight to referendum.
Okay.
So they're allowing folks to weigh in to say, do you believe that $32 on top of your 24 is a
Right,
fair way to
okay.
go about funding schools? And I'm really not here to debate or to question the commission on past decisions. That's for the politicians to do that. And they have to make hard decisions,
Sure they
not
do.
only about schools, but about the sheriff, about roads, about parks. So many needs in the community. I love our community. I love Bradley County. You know, I bought my first home here back in the 80s. My first child was born here. We did work down in Florida a number of years, but I'm really glad to be back. And I'm glad to see the community growing. I'm glad to see that there are many people who really want to see us do better for our children.
Right.
And this wheel tax is a way to do that.
And it's what you have. I mean, this is the opportunity that we have. It's here. It's on the table, and tomorrow we can make that decision. Let's go forward.
And we need
That's right.
to
And we wanna
make that
support
decision.
that and to support
And
the-
when you break it down, it's what, a couple of bucks more a month towards education.
Well, it is. You know, if it were a tax that was just taken out of our paycheck, we wouldn't even notice it.
Right.
True.
And I know a lot of people are critical of the federal government, the misspending. You and I talked about this at dinner the other night, that, you know, we still have our federal government, there's probably a lot of waste. There are $600 toilet seats and $200 hammers. And
Right.
I'm concerned about that too. I would like for someone to get in Washington, D.C. and take care of those. I'm going to tell you that doesn't happen in Bradley County schools. It doesn't happen in Bradley County government. We run a very efficient government. The public schools are part of local government, and I'm
Yeah.
proud of that. I'm a supporter of public education, believe in public education. I'm a product of public education. And I am proud of what we do. I'm proud of how we provide a great service,
Yeah.
really very efficiently on the dollars that we receive.
Yeah, and as we know, Bradley County Schools was one of the first in the, Bradley Central High School is one of the first in the state, if I'm not mistaken, to be School of Excellence back in the day when they
It was back in the Reagan administration.
Yeah.
They started that program, and Mr. Hughes, who was just here,
Yes.
he was principal at Bradley. They made that application and proved that they were really doing an excellent job.
Yeah.
We've come a long way, even the last few years here in Tennessee, in trying to improve our education on the global standing, if you will. We have global partners here in our community with Fokker and Volkswagen and Whirlpool and others. And we want to do a great job. Our infrastructure, it has needs. It has needs that I've inherited, that this commission have inherited, and we need to do something about it. That's what the school board has asked for. We appreciate the commission saying, well, here's one way. And it's really up to the people to decide if this is how they want to fund these projects for Bradley County Public Schools.
So we are in agreement in saying that we would ask that you vote yes for whichever it's
How
on
it
the ballot
says,
is for or against, I
Yay,
guess.
yes.
Yes,
for.
yay, aye, for.
Well, it
or-
says for or against. If you are for the $32 going to schools, then you vote for. If you're against $32 going to schools, you vote against.
No, don't do that. Just vote for the
Just
four.
vote for. And remember, it's for education. It's not like this money is, and it's all earmarked for that. It's not going to be taken out and some of it put over here and some of it like people are worried about.
Joe, and I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people in this discussion, they say, well, we don't trust government. We don't trust that if they get this wheel tax, it's going to go. It is in the referendum. It's right on the ballot. And in fact, they tried the best they could, the commission tried the best they could to assure the voters that this money would go for these projects. And I'm going to tell you that I believe that. They at the table told me that it was my job to sell this because this is a way to meet the needs you're asking for. We've tried to at least educate people. I want people to make their own decision. I hope at the end of the day, like me, they see that it is a great investment when you invest in our children, when you provide a great school. I believe the children at Lake Forest deserve a new building.
Yeah.
I believe that the children at Walker Valley deserve to have additional classroom space up there. We're going to need that classroom space. If not, Joe, we're going to buy some more portables, some trailers, and put them on the front lawn of Walker Valley. That's what we'll have to do as we grow.
And nobody wants that. Nobody, you know, that's just how the need needs to be met at that particular, and that's putting a Band-Aid on it, so to speak.
Well, it is. You know, in Florida, you and I grew up in Florida and had explosive growth in the 70s.
Right.
I went to school in portables. I worked
did
at a
too.
high school down in Palm Beach, Florida, which you would think of Palm Beach, a lot of money. Well, growth happens, and they didn't grow the schools. I taught at a school, we had 60 portables, and I'm going to tell you that is not good for teachers. It's not good for kids. When you have explosive growth and you have to meet the need unexpectedly, that's what you do.
Right.
We're trying to be proactive. I've told the commission, Walker Valley's full. It's time to build on. Station Camp over in Middle Tennessee, the same building. When they hit 1,200 students, they came back to the funding body and said it's time to expand the building, and they expanded the building. They've added 16 classrooms and a larger cafeteria to Station Camp, the same footprint as Walker Valley, and they did that when they reached that 1,200.
Right.
We're at 1,500, and it really is time to do something about Walker Valley.
And of course, that starts tomorrow when you vote for the wheel tax.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you, Johnny.
Johnny, thank you so much for being with us.
And we know this guy. He'll do the right thing.
That's
We
right,
know
exactly
him.
right. He'll make sure the right thing is done,
That's
too.
right.
All right. We're going to be back. We got Ron Moore in the house. We'll talk a little bit about some history on the way when we return on Tennessee Valley This Morning. Stay tuned.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Bradley County is home to a community of resilient, compassionate families who want the best for each other. The tragedies of the April 27, 2011 tornadoes brought our community together to bring aid to the hurting and helpless. It is time to come together once more. The Bradley County school system is underfunded, and our future leaders are receiving their education in substandard learning environments. On August 2nd, you will have an opportunity to further impact our great community by voting for the wheel tax. A vote for the wheel tax will not only rebuild Blue Springs Elementary School, but it will provide a new facility that is engineered to meet the demands that technology places on the infrastructure. The overcrowded Walker Valley High School students and teachers will have much needed space and be able to use academic rooms for their intended purposes. The students and teachers of Lake Forest Middle School will no longer endure the hazardous conditions caused by the elements of nature and deteriorating classroom buildings. British philosopher Herbert Spencer stated, "The great aim of education is not knowledge, but action." Would you take action in the name of education and vote yes for the wheel tax? A vote for the wheel tax is a vote for the children and the future of Bradley County.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning. WTMB, Joe and Kim with you, Palo, on this middle of the week Wednesday, joined by Ron Moore, as we always are.
Always a great Wednesday.
Oh, man.
Always a great Wednesday.
It is always a great
I enjoyed your last two guests.
Those very informative,
Wow.
very, we got to
They
vote
classed up
for.
the place, didn't they?
Oh, they did. They really did not come out, you know. It's like
It's
you
all right,
should
though.
never follow animals or pets. you know.
Right, that's right. Or school superintendents and entrepreneurs.
Yes.
But yeah, so you've got a great topic for us today. What is it? I'm
History.
just sure.
History.
History of?
And what history is.
Okay.
All right.
We're really going to talk about what we call history, and history isn't these earth-shattering events. History may be what happened on your street,
Very
in
true.
your neighborhood, at your house. You know, you consider all that history, you know. Anything can be considered history if it happened yesterday.
That's very true.
You know, but
10 minutes ago.
think about all the hundreds and thousands of pictures in outbuildings, in closets, in attics, under the beds, in drawers, in shoe boxes, and they don't have a name on them. And you know what? Those pictures could have hundreds of things in there that be of interest to this community, or maybe to your family.
Right.
There may be a picture of your grandfather sitting there milking a cow, and that might be where McDonald's is located today.
Right.
That's
You know,
the truth.
You may have, I've never seen a picture of the inside of PNS Hospital, which was down on Emmett Street, but around where museum is. Not very few pictures of the inside of Speck Hospital. I've never seen a picture of the coffin or a casket made at the Cleveland Coffin Company. So all these things here, you know, think about the little community stores. We don't have many of those
Right.
anymore, but used to, every little store had a little grocery.
Uh-huh.
And you walk down the street to them, and you got your nickel Cokes and things of that
Penny
nature.
candy.
Penny candies. So all that was always a treat for people. And so we don't have that. You know, we don't have a picture of all those. We don't have a picture of the inside. We may not have a check stub from your grandfather or your father where he worked, where he made 20 cents an hour or 10 cents an hour, and it may be factories and places. All that's history. They may be old signs in there. An old pair of shoes made by a shoemaker here in town. I know recently I found in some pictures of my grandmother had collected. She's been passed for years. I was looking through those, and there was 2 8x10 pictures, and they looked like taken by a professional photographer, and they were of a group of people standing on a little riser in there, and they were just posing for something. I don't know what it was for. You know, and then I found another one, and my grandmother was in one. She was the only 4'9" lady in the photo, so I could pick out my grandmother. And so I posted those on Facebook, and within an hour or so, people says, "Oh my goodness, that's a picture of my daddy. I've never seen my daddy look so young." And he was so handsome. That that's my aunt, and that's it. And before we knew it, we had named everyone in the picture. Wow. And it was at Charleston Hosiery Mill at a Christmas party. They'd done a photo every year for their Christmas party. Some of these people had never seen it, or they hadn't seen it since they had been in the picture.
Right.
And the other picture, before we knew it, also I found in there a picture of what I call three greasers. They had their hair ducked back with the ducktails, and they were standing next to a car. And I know they were waiting on something because the tire was flat on the car. And I said, well, I had to think, well, who are these three young men? There's no one in my family. And I said, and so I started thinking, well, this car and those guys, it had to be my uncle, friends of my uncle, because they'd be that. So I posted it on Facebook before you know it. Names of all three guys, and no one told me why the tire was flat. There was no other stories about it. But we knew who those people are. The problem is, Negro Baseball League that played here for years. We know that they have to be pictures of those individual players. There's a couple of group shots here and there. None of that. Like I say, you can just keep going on and on. You know where the Cleveland Mall was? There's a big farm there at one time.
Right, there was.
Don't have a picture of that. I know the Church of God of Prophecy has some photos of happening inside the assembly, but I bet there are pictures people took because it was like a carnival outside. You remember very well.
Especially
I'm sure there are pictures of people walking up and down the street of the carnival and the snowball machines. I've seen one where Dooley's had a snowball machine out front and done that. And then over at MC Hedrick's, he had all kind of booths set up there in the parking lot where you could buy sandwiches and different things.
Right, and right next to Dooley's, they had that little photographer that you could go and would put the year. I have one of me, I was about 4, I think, and I wasn't very happy, but somebody took me over there and had my picture taken.
All that history there. Maybe in a drawer somewhere you have a war ration stamp. The food ration they done. You may have a receipt for something where your mom and dad bought a refrigerator from Chase Appliance, and it was $29.95, and there's a lot of things out there that we could do to save old photos. And what I'm really concerned about history right now today is we don't print pictures anymore.
That's right.
Your pictures are all become digital, and even more so now they're on your cell phone.
Right.
And your cell phone doesn't store photos anywhere unless you send them somewhere. And so you need to start thinking about that. The other thing is pull those pictures out. Pull those signs out. Pull those anything that you may have that your grandpa had, your daddy had, may be history. Take pictures of it. Start writing stories down about it. And if you're not
label it if you can. My dad started doing that in his later years. He started going through all their travels and everything and putting names and places to some of those, people, because you don't know. I would have no idea who these individuals. So if you know,
that's the key thing
start
right there.
writing on the back of your photos or have a label made or something, to put that so that you do have that information, and not to mention to share it with you guys.
And you may find some really strange things in there. And the thing, I found a paycheck where my uncle worked on the flume line up here in Ocoee.
Wow.
Made 10 cents an hour or something like that. And I also found in my grandfather Epperson's papers this official document. I found 2 official documents. One of them says where our family had donated land to build the Tinga Elementary School. And it said as long as it was a school, the property could belong to the state of Georgia, and it's no longer a school. And I went and fought to get the piece of property back because I'll probably just leave it with the state right now. And then also found a document in my grandfather's where the little city of Tinga, Georgia, if you go down 411 and you cross in there, had actually became an official city in the state of Georgia. And my grandfather had been involved in the original signing of the agreements and all that. And it's hilarious. And so I called the state archives in Georgia, says, was Tinga actually a city? And they said yes for 7 or 8 years or something of that nature. And they got tired of being a city and said, we don't want to do this anymore. So say those things. And if you could come to, if you have any question, if it's historical or not, come down to the radio station on Saturday morning on Whoop FM. Come visit us and say, is this historical?
Well, let's tell everybody. Whoop 99.9, 10 to noon every day or every Saturday, Old Town Cleveland, with Ron and Debbie Moore. We're about out of time.
Facebook page. I mean, you've got to check that out.
Yeah, check out the Facebook page.
We put pictures every week of something historical
Go
or hysterical.
For a friend, request because you want to receive those because
I think we're about out of time.
All right.
We got to go. We will see you next Wednesday. Thank you to Ron, Johnny McDaniel, and Dale Hughes. We will see you guys next week.
Go vote tomorrow.
Yeah, go vote, exactly. See you next time on Tennessee Valley This Morning.